The only reason I even thought I could become a composer was because I had that experience early on where I saw that it was possible. Because like I mentioned the Osvaldo Golijov piece, but like that program they were rehearsing, it had Osvaldo Golijov on it. It had a Zhou Long piece with there was the Lou Harrison Peacock concerto. There was like the breadth of styles within that program was just incredible. So like to see them all share the same space, the same concert hall, the same musicians, I think was kind of a very clear message like, yeah, music making can be radically inclusive.
Yeah.
And that's a really weird first kind of major message to get, I think. But I'm really grateful for that. So I think I went into like new music making from that perspective and then was rudely surprised to see that some people didn't feel that way.
Oh, yeah.
And I like every single time someone expressed something to the contrary, I was like, what? No, you're wrong. Which I'm thankful that I'm so stubborn because I think that there are a lot of people out there that are trying to gatekeep and kind of dictate aesthetics or dictate modes of music making or forms of notation or so I think I was really really lucky that kind of my entry point was one of like radical stylistic inclusion.
Yeah.
And and then I've just spent like the rest of my adult life trying to fight for those kind of spaces, I think, for myself but also for other people, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, hearing you earlier say like you listen to like 70s and 80s countries. I mean, I
Mhm.
probably like yourself. I grew up listening to like my parents are not classically trained musicians. They're actually
Yeah.
not musicians at all, and they
Mine
so
either.
I grew up around like they loved all kinds like classic rock, 70s 80s rock,
Yeah.
and like 90s country music is something that's like re-entering my life. Like we were
Oh,
out at a
nice.
bar in Cincinnati. We went to a new bar last year and it became my favorite one because we popped in on Saloon Saturday on accident. And it's like a hipster dive bar, but they were just playing all this 90s country music that I love.
Uh,
And I bring that up to say, it dawned on me at a certain point in undergrad. It's like I don't know if like I don't remember why this came up. I'm guessing like you said, there were people around me kind of like talking down about different kinds of music, and I realized like there is no good or bad music. Like I could have the same emotional reaction to like a Mahler symphony as my mom might have to like a Brooks and Dunn song. You know what I mean?
yeah, of
And
course.
I've tried to like hold on to that thought like through thick and thin. Of course, now I do think like if you're teaching and like there's like an objective craft component, good or bad, to music, perhaps, but the subjective nature of it all. I mean, um, yeah, it's so bogus when I hear people like talking down about different kinds of music, like one's better than the other, because it's really not.
Totally.
It's not.
Totally. Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned teaching because I think that teachers can kind of unintentionally send some of those messages as well, right? And so whenever I teach a piece or tell a student to go listen to a piece that they haven't heard before, I always say, "You don't have to like it. Like actually
Yeah.
if you hate it, that's great. Come back and tell me all the ways you hate this piece because like we learn a lot from music we don't like." And I'm always trying. I say I don't listen to classical music. I should say I listen to music by my friends, which are
Oh, well, yeah.
classical, like contemporary classical music. I listen to that, but like I love listening to stuff that just like completely rubs me the wrong way because you learn so much about your tastes, but also sometimes there'd be like a piece that you just like really don't like, but there's just this one moment where like there's I don't know. I'm not going to name the piece or the composer because I actually really love this composer, but there's this piece that I don't really care for of theirs. But there's this one moment. It's like a very sine tony clarinet with flutter tongue flute at like at pitch doubling at the same time, and that with these like really subtle little swells in the flute. I'm like, oh my god, like that is so cool,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And I think about it like once a week. Thought about it once a week for like a decade. That one sound. And I didn't care for the piece, but it's like, who cares? Who cares if I like it, right? No, I mean, not to go all Milton Babbitt on us here, but um, but it's like, I've had I've had teachers try to tell me like, oh, you really should spend time with the Mahler symphonies. They're like so important. You'll learn so much about craft, but they don't tell me what I'm supposed to learn from it. And I
Yeah,
go listen to it
yeah.
and I'm like, yeah, this is a swing and a miss, which is fine. Like, I love that you love him, but for me, I couldn't care less. And I think that just kind of, yeah, I don't know, maybe it's this, it's like there's this culture in classical music of like treating pieces as like precious
Yeah.
precious stones or something, like it's untouchable. Like, how dare you insult like this perfect little like crystal of a piece. And um I think it's fine to just not like things, and I try to like encourage my students to share that and not take like, not that I want them like bashing each other's music, but like,
Yeah.
if you know that it's okay. I'm totally devolving here, but like, if I know conceptually it's okay for me to not like things, then I will not take it as personally if someone else does not like what I've made, right? It's like, yeah, if you just don't have to like everything, that's fine. It's not that you failed as a composer. It's not that you're not a good composer. It's just like, we're all different people with different tastes, and that's cool.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Micromaker by Loose Leaf Transmissions. We hope you enjoyed this brief glimpse into the inner workings of the creative life. If this resonated with you, be sure to check out the full conversation on Music Maker with Tyler Klein, a podcast exploring craft and process, philosophy and inspiration, and the honest, often messy parts of being an artist, creative uncertainty, purpose and identity, and resilience. You can find Music Maker wherever you get your podcasts or by visiting musicmakerpodcast.com.